Hey y'all, I'm Charsie Belcher. I'm going to talk to you about day 8 in our Advent series, and we're going to learn this story about Joshua. If you tuned in yesterday, we learned that God was leading his people out of slavery, and they started on this really long journey. It took 40 years. That's a really long time. And not only were they in the desert for 40 years, they were hot in the desert, like a really hot beach day. They were feeling kind of gross and dirty. And they really wanted a bath, but there was no bath for them to get into. And then they were really hungry, like you're starving, waiting for your parents to get your meals ready, and the only thing that they had to eat was bread. So finally, one day, God says to them, hey, it's time for y'all to stop wandering. I'm going to lead you home. And they were so excited. Can you imagine how excited they were? So God is going to lead them out of the desert. They're so excited, and then all of a sudden they realize that they have to go to this city, this really scary city that had this huge wall surrounding it. The wall was touching the sky. That's how big it was. And so they were afraid, and they began to question, is God really with us? So they had this new leader, and his name was Joshua. And so they said, Joshua, we need a plan. And so Joshua was like, I'm on it. I'm gonna get a plan. So God spoke to Joshua and said, this is what y'all need to do. Joshua shared the information with his people, God's people, and they decided to do exactly what God told them to do. And so they were told that they needed to go around and march in their full armor with their swords around the city for 7 days. And then on the 7th day, they needed to march around 7 times and scream and shout. And so that's what they did. And guess what happened? The walls began to fall down. It began to crack. It fell to the ground. And they realized that they had to believe in God, someone they couldn't see, to be brave and conquer the city that they could see. And so they had won the battle. And Joshua, when he got really, really old, he reminded his people, God's people, that you need to believe. And they said, yes, we believe, and we will always believe. So stay tuned tomorrow to see if God's people continue to believe in him.